I'm David Magida, and we are here in picturesque Telluride, Colorado, and this is the 2021 Spartan Ultra World Championship.
Being the best isn't just a time.
Crosses the line, you're champion.
It's not just pride, not a personal record. It's not holding a check at the top of the podium. It's a ritual.
Thanks, Dave. Dave Watson here, and behind me, the podium where in 24 hours or so, we are going to see 2 world champions crowned, men and women, of this race. How does this whole thing work? Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's 24 hours. Started at 10 a.m., goes right through to Monday at 11:30 a.m. Wait a minute, that's more than 24 hours. That's because a racer has to start their final lap by 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Then they have that hour and a half, 2.5 hours to get through the last lap. Got to get my mental math right. When they get out on course, they'll be doing loops of about 6.7 miles. But the special thing about this course is, on the very first lap, the racers are going out and doing a 21K half marathon loop where they're going to experience a whole bunch of obstacles only one time before they settle in to a loop format. People will have to climb more than 11,000 feet of gain over this race and run more than 30 miles to earn the coveted Ultra Buckle. They'll be passing through a transition area with hopefully friends and family there every lap, and 31 obstacles on the course, a bunch of mandatory obstacles, there's some penalty loops. Burpees get punched on a special punch card and you get checked when you come in, and there's a burpee pit where you complete your penalties. Open racers, the open category, will do their burpees out at the obstacles. It's a stunning course, and speaking of courses, I went out with Mike Morris recently for this special course tour.
Hey!
Whoa.
What's up, buddy?
What are you doing here?
Doing the course tour.
Oh, I thought I was doing the course tour.
I think they said your jokes are bad, so they're sending me up.
All right, well, let's both do the course tour. Let's go!
Let's go!
Spartan, Steve Hammond with you here in Telluride. Not really, David Watson covering for Steve Hammond. We've got Mike Morris here, and we're here at about 10,000 feet, I think, Mike.
10,500. Every foot matters up here.
It really takes it out of you. I'm telling you, this is a huge weekend. Ultra World Championship, Mike, we've waited 2 years for this. We had COVID shut it down last year. We're in Iceland, we're in Sweden, then we had to wait. And now we're here, we're gonna do this course preview with you. What a stunning place.
It is absolutely beautiful out there, guys. We ran the course today, right? A little bit out of breath a couple times, maybe.
We ran it and kind of took a UTV, a vehicle at his request, but we ran a fair bit of it. Anyway, you guys are gonna love this course. Get ready.
On our 13-mile beast, this is right about mile 10.5. On the Ultra Loop, this is right about mile 4.5.
Dude, we're the sandbag carry. I'm out of breath holding this thing.
No joke, out of breath holding this thing. So it's gonna be quite the carry for everybody.
I'm telling you, this place is unbelievable. We got the gondola right here, which you can get up and down from the town of Mountain Village. Perfect access before or after the race, during if you've got spectators and family. And down here, stunning views all throughout this course, Mike.
This is probably my favorite view though. This is one of the best.
Yeah, you're gonna look across the town of Telluride. All throughout this race, on both the Beast and the Ultra, you come across these incredible views, and it's almost worth stopping if you're not looking at your time too closely. Here we are at about 10,000 feet, the bucket carry, Mike. What led us up to here, and tell us about the next bit of the course?
We've got a steep section coming up, top of the Sheridan head wall they call it. And when they say head wall, they mean steep. So we've got a steep bucket brigade. You know what a wise man once told me?
What?
Buckets of rocks are heavy.
Yeah. Did you hear the one about the guy that was going to Bangkok? I won't tell that joke. All right, let's go. We got the bucket carry, and it's on this kind of steep, watch this,
You like drinking half beer, half water, Coors Light, and on that can is a mountain. There's a Mount Wilson. It's right there.
Why do they call it Mount Wilson?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think there was a guy called Wilson.
Like a volleyball?
Could be a volleyball. Wilson! It's not easy to carry the bucket. Don't try this at home. Oh, bro! Why was I given this GoPro? Into a light daze. Some of my favourite parts of this course, Mike, are these amazing single track sections through the forest. This is one of them. Tell us about it.
They're absolutely stunning. Beast racers will have 5 miles of single track through the woods, and we're talking super smooth, windy, with you pop out in these excellent views. If you're on the ultra course, you'll be doing 2 miles every lap. But like you said, they're absolutely stunning.
It's not particularly technical, and you can go quite fast.
Yeah. He doesn't actually run that fast normally.
That helmet.
Seriously?
We're down here in the village, Mike. This is basically the end of the beast and the start and finish point for the ultra. And it is an amazing, amazing place. We've got obstacles scattered all throughout here. What have we got? We've got Hercoist right behind us. What else?
Yeah, they come down, they start at Helix, they hit 8-foot wall, they hit rope climb, they hit multi-rig, we got Hercoist, they go over to Bender. Even with the amazing terrain, beautiful scenery, which we've already seen, this is actually probably my favorite part of the entire course.
There's going to be a great atmosphere throughout the whole weekend here. Beautiful restaurants. I mean, this is like, it's got to be one of my favorite festivals at any Spartan event. So, huge weekend coming up. Ultra World Championship. We've got a beast on Saturday. Ultra World Champs starts on Sunday at 10 a.m. goes all the way through to 11:30 a.m. on Monday. Mike, I can't wait. Should we go for a little jog?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
See you guys out there.
I'm going to jog to this restaurant, get something to eat.
What song really comes to mind when I'm out here?
I'm here at the start line of the 24-hour Spartan Ultra World Championships here in beautiful Telluride, Colorado. 360-degree views of aspen trees and ginormous mountains. And we're about to kick things off here, getting started, where they're gonna begin running these massive loops with tons of climbing for 24 hours straight. It's gonna be totally, totally wild. And behind me, you can see the elites are lining up. We're taking off the men and the women at the same time. We're gonna have some different talent out here than the usual suspects. We already know on the women's side who to be looking for. We have Rhea Coble, our 2019 Ultra Champion. She dominated that race, and she's looking to do the same thing again this year. But we do have some newer faces. We have Katie Mills, who was the champion in Tahoe, and we have Chikorita, who I know is a Red Bull athlete. She has done the Wings for Life World Run and other challenges like that, so we know that she's gonna have a pretty strong showing out here. The thing about ultras is it's a completely different skill set than what we normally see at Spartan races. So you're gonna see some new faces, some people that aren't usually on the podium at the shorter events are gonna be much stronger in this 24-hour format. And then moving into the men's field, we have a pretty stacked field. Unfortunately, we don't have our previous champion Ryan Atkins out here, but we have some strong athletes showing up. We have first-time 24-hour competitor Tyler Veerman, who has made some strong mountain showings this year on some beast courses, but we're looking to see how he transitions to a 24-hour format. We also have Mark Gaudette, who is a monster when it comes to the ultra distance. He was an Army Ranger, competed in Best Ranger. He's no stranger to the 24-hour format. He's gonna be a champion out here. But it's gonna be an exciting weekend out here. I'm excited to see who we have as some competitors, and I'm excited to see how things shake out as we get further into the night and into tomorrow morning.
Right now, on this Ultra World Championship Sunday in Telluride, Colorado! Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Spartans, what is your profession? For the championship, for glory, let's go! Have a great race, you guys. Have fun. Be safe. train, and we will see you all tomorrow. 24 hours of fun, y'all. Enjoy. Hope you guys got your sleeping bags ready. Take it on now with you. Have a great race, guys. Have fun. Yes, indeed. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go, Spartans.
All right, well, I'm here in the middle of Tent City. This is where the action happens, the transition between each lap. Athletes have a chance to refuel, reload, get ready to roll onto their next lap. It's where time can be gained, where it can be lost, and where you can see exactly how an athlete is feeling. So I'm gonna walk into one of these tents right now. This is a tent that's being shared by my training partner, Mark Gaudet, and Tyler Veerman. They're running together today, and you can see that in here, support crews are working hard to make sure that everything is stocked. As we come on, take a look at what we got going on here. You'll see mixes of gels, pill capsules. So I know that Mark will take one of these pill capsules almost every single lap. He'll take all of these pills with him out on the course. You have fluids for refill. Each of these bladders are ready for quick switches. So this looks like it's just water, and then some of these will be refilled with Perpetuum or other products that they're going to use that are mixes of carbs and fats. They'll grab actual, these are banana muffins, I believe. So actual real food. You can see that the pills are ready to go for the next lap already. And then other things that will just make them happy. So like some things are for strategic. Some things are going to be a bit more about lifting your spirits a little bit when you're doing this stuff. So a second belt will be ready to go. These athletes are dialed in. They know, all right, I pull off one belt, my crew member passes me another, and I'm ready to turn and head right back out there, because minutes, even seconds that are gained or lost in these pit areas can determine who ends up winning these races. If you get comfortable, if you stop moving, that's when it goes. So we got to stay in it, stay focused, have your crew dialed in. Look at all this stuff. I mean, you can drop down. It's just bag upon bag of just food products. These guys are going to probably eat 10,000 plus calories over the next 24 hours. So they're going to be ready for it. This is the fun part, guys. Things are going to start picking up.
Thanks, Magida. I'm out here at the spear throw. It is at the descent phase of the Beast Loop, the 21K half marathon section that is only being done one time in this race. Miguel Medina has been in front. A bit of an unknown name at this stage, and he's been going quite fast. Behind him, Max Rearman. Max hit the spear, Miguel missed it, so there's going to be a change coming down into the village shortly where Miguel will have to do his burpees. The names that you'll be expecting in third and fourth are Tyler Veerman and Mark Gaudet, and then followed by Josh Fiore and Aaron Newell. So, very early days at the moment. You wouldn't expect, anyone to be redlining and being silly at this stage. There's a lot of racing left. What I can tell you out on the course is just absolutely perfect conditions. The ground is kind of soft from the rain about 24 hours ago, but it's definitely not muddy. Obstacles are in perfect condition. They're dry. The air's just perfect temperature. I mean, you couldn't ask for better conditions out here for racing. So a couple of guys out the front leading the way, Miguel and Max, and then the bigger names sort of just hanging back, sitting back behind them, and they're descending down into the village right now. We're going to see them get to a bunch of obstacles and back into the transition area. So I'll be heading back down, and you'll hear more from me shortly. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, David. Just got to the transition area here where a few of the top athletes have just moved through, and it's been a very interesting thing to see the different strategies. Some are going all the way into their tents, making adjustments themselves. Some people are having their crew bring them food so they can stay real close to the turnaround, make it as quick as possible. We're seeing transition as little as 30 seconds and as much as coming up on 3 or 4 minutes. But since it's 24 hours, I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal this early on, but that transition speed can come into play later in the day. Third and fourth place, we have Mark Gaudet and Tyler Veerman coming in together. These are some of the guys we expected to come out to the front early on, and it looks like they're following exactly what we expected from them. And you can see while they're checking in, they're trying to be as efficient as they can. letting their crew know exactly what they need a change of shoes, you need nutrition, you need hydration, anything like that, so they can bring it to them, save time, get out on their next lap. You can see the whole tent setup they got going on, everything you could need in there, this huge case of everything, multiple shoes laid out, ready for quick swaps, all his equipment ready to go based on any situation he could face. Sounds like things are warming up. He wants to lighten the load a little bit. Not quite as much cold weather gear. So, our top elite female just came in, I'd say within 6 or 7 minutes of the top elite male, so that's incredibly impressive. And as we saw with the men, first came in, second right behind, third and fourth. Rhea is in her transition, swapping shoes, swapping gear, and we still cannot see any of the other women competitors. I think this is what we expected to see, just pure domination, but maybe not quite this early, but it's quite impressive. You can see the experience of the vet here. Swapping socks, swapping shoes after the very first lap, not taking any chances on anything, addressing any little tight spots in the shoes, any hot spots before they could turn to blisters or anything like that. Fully prepped for every situation, even being prepped before any situations come along, addressing things early. That's what's going to make a champion 24 hours in. All right, we have the third place elite female coming in right now. Katie Knight. Earlier I called her Katie Mills. Turns out that was fake news, so we're correcting it. Katie Knight is in third place. She was the winner in Tahoe for the Ultra. All smiles from Katie coming in, still in good spirits, and that's good since she's only a couple hours in.
So everybody's got a sweet setup, but this is mine. This is actually a hotel dish bin. We're ready to go.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect though. You got that Builder Hydro, so I know that that's for real, right?
It's keeping me alive, so we're having fun. Only one set of burpees on that, which is nice. I like that, so we'll head out for the next one in about like 2 minutes. So
I'm hearing a lot of people say that the race hasn't even started yet. Would you agree with that?
3 a.m. is my go time. Yeah.
3 a.m. it is. We'll keep an eye out for you.
Behind me, you can see that these athletes are ready to kick off the Parade of Nations. Athletes representing about 20 countries from around the world will come together to compete on this amazing course, holding their flags proud and marching together as one.
Awesome atmosphere down here at Tent City. It just gets better and better. Music's pumping, sun's shining. It's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon coming into the early evening, and the anticipation of the night still to come. In the women's field, Rhea Colbel is leading, not by a huge amount, but you know, she was just taking it easy at this stage. It's still very, very early days. Behind her, Katie Knight and Alex Rodonia. You've got 3 Americans in the lead in the women. Now in the men, it's quite interesting. Miguel Medina is still in the lead. Mark Godet and Max Riemann, Tyler Veerman and Aaron Newell. Only about 5 or 6 minutes separates the top men. Just spoke to Aaron moments ago. He's struggling with the altitude. How you doing, Aaron?
Turns out I'm not acclimated.
You're not acclimated? You haven't missed an obstacle yet, though. You've been doing pretty well.
Well, the obstacles are super easy, so that's probably why.
Yeah, so what is it, the altitude right now?
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the plan going forward?
I don't know. Hopes and dreams.
All right, good luck. Joshua Fiore's been interesting. He's missed quite a few spear throws. Ahead of him is Aaron Newell, hasn't missed any. Fiore did burpees on the first lap, and then on the most recent lap has done burpees again. The spear has been the problem so far for the men. All right, here with Josh Fiore. Just come in for a quick pit stop. Josh, how you feeling?
That last lap was rough. I was nauseous, almost vomited in the wire crawl, and still a little burpy.
Don't think about it. You got another lap going in.
Feeling a lot better now, though.
Yeah, you've been missing the spear on a couple.
I missed all 3 of them.
That's okay. What's the plan going into this next lap?
Hit the spare.
But you're just warming up on the running legs, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Is it the altitude giving you the nausea?
I don't know. Probably. Most likely.
All right, best of luck, Josh. Get after it.
is.
Spear has been the problem so far for the men. Other than that, it's a close race and still early days. Everyone looking fairly strong. As I said, Aaron Newell said that he's feeling the altitude a little bit, but that's just one of the ups and downs of racing over 24 hours. In the tent in Tent City with champion Nicole Miracle, making PB&Js. What's the story here?
So Rhea's almost done with her third lap, and we have someone that's a little bit ahead over at A-Frame, just kind of asking Rhea, like, hey, what do you want? So they just called into me. They said, get her a PB&J. So I am trying to frantically make one before she's into crew.
Is this the sort of nutrition strategy you'd go for as in your own racing? Or is this a bit different?
I'm more of an almond butter girl, but I'm also more of a, 13-mile, 6-mile race girl, too. So, 24-hour race is a little out of my comfort zone, and I don't think anything shorter I'd be having a PB&J.
How's Rhea doing from your perspective?
She's doing great. She's in really good spirits. She's fueling well. She's hydrating. She had a little bit of problems with her shoes in the beginning. She just needed to change shoes, change socks, but I think everything's going well for her.
And finally, what do you think is the biggest thing racers should be thinking about right at this stage? It's like it's kind of the magic hour when everything seems fine, right? But the night's coming. What's your advice to people?
Oh man, I don't know. Really just fueling. Fueling's seems to be the biggest factor, and to keep moving when it does get cold and dark and you don't want to keep moving.
This looks really delicious. I'm going to get out of the tent. No, I'm going to get out of the tent before I eat Rhea's food. See you later.
My goodness, you're moving pretty quick. You got a good cush running.
Yeah, I feel good. Oh shit, it's VeeJay.
What's up, dude?
I don't think we've ever met in person. Can I say hi?
Hey, man.
Yeah, dude, it's nice to
Good
meet
to meet
you.
First time. Something you want to notice. Careful there. He's the only guy in the top 3 that is gloved up for every grip obstacle. And it's not a question of can he do it? It's a question of how long will his hands last. So he's trying to protect his hands and his grip every step of this way. Every obstacle.
That's how we all do it. For the old schools.
I think the hands are gonna be the first thing to go on everybody.
Yeah.
Just getting a little beat up.
Man. I don't know.
I mean just the skin.
Huh?
Just the skin on the hands, depending on
Are those guys wearing gloves?
No.
Oh well. That's their fault. I put on gloves. Every time. Save the skin.
Yeah, dude, that's what it's about. It's not about the grip.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be fucking macho.
VeeJay,
First time in Telluride?
Yeah, dude. Pretty much everywhere I go in Colorado is a new place. Like I live in Colorado Springs, but I've never driven that far south. So after about like 15 minutes outside the city, everything was new. So quite the trip.
What do you think of this place?
Beautiful. I mean, it was dark by the time I got to Telluride, but the whole 6 hours in was amazing. So I'm really excited to see what this place looks like when it's light out.
Get out there on that course tomorrow?
Oh, 100%.
Well, we were talking about, maybe hitting a lap, see how it feels.
Lap or two, see what happens.
You got Big Bear coming up, obviously.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Gonna be racing there.
Thoughts? Okay, look, we're talking about, you're like tied for the lead. Like, it's a pretty high stakes race.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really a part of the plan, like going into the year. Like I had a singular goal, and this was like post that goal. I attained that goal already, but now that I'm in this position of being able to, potentially win the series and go head to head with like one of the best obstacle racers in the history of the sport, I'm extremely excited. I'm stoked. It's gonna be fun. Tune in.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good one. Like when we talk about Big Bear and like what kind of course it is, and obviously it's only a super, right? Which is very in your wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. But it's those super steep climbs. Mm. And you have this crazy flat ground speed, and you're a good climber. But now we're getting into like the grind climbs. Is your body? Are you feeling like your training's really been dialed in for that?
I feel like I've developed a newer skill set. I think everything has been kind of based around time for me. When we get over an hour, things get a little questionable. Like I turn into a time bomb. But I'm like, I'm very strong. I'm very strong for an hour. All right. So being a 10K is like ideal for what I want. And even having the steep climbs, like I have a couple local mountains now that I just drive 10 minutes and I'm able to hit like, 20 and 30% grades and practice that power hiking. On runnable grades, I feel very, very strong. Like 20% and less, I feel like I can run and I'm powerful and I'm strong enough to keep up with anyone. Power hiking's still something I gotta kind of develop, but I feel like in a race this short, I think it's gonna be a good fight. I don't think it's gonna be an easy victory for him. If he's gonna take it, he's gonna have to really work for it, and he'll deserve it if it happens.
And it's not gonna be an easy one for you either if you take it.
No, not at all. Like this is his wheelhouse. If like there was anywhere that we were gonna go that I think he'd want to defend like a title like that, I think that's where he would want it to be. So I'm really excited for it though. I think it's exactly how I'd want it to be. I don't want to go to a flat sprint to decide everything because I'd feel like uber confident about it. But I feel like it's doable. I feel like the work that I've done this year has really put me in a good position to really throw down, and I'm excited to do it. And I'd love nothing more than to beat it and take it from him.
And it's so interesting because you won Jacksonville, Ryan wasn't there,
right?
And then he wins Utah, and you weren't there. Right, so now this whole year just starts to kind of just roll, and it's like, okay, when are we gonna match him up? And then you go into Asheville, and you smash.
Yeah.
And then he wins West Virginia, but you're not there, and so it's like finally, like let's finally get that throwdown that we want to see. But it's also like it's been like the most competitive year in terms of we haven't come into the final race of a national series with two guys, both with 2 wins. Like, this is a historic one.
It's exciting, man. I mean, before I was even competing in the U.S. National Series, I was following along on TV, watching everything and watching these athletes. He's been there the whole time. So, like, I looked up to those guys, and now that I've, like, climbed the ranks enough to compete, and he's still that guy, he's still the one to beat, it's pretty cool. But, yeah, man, it's going to be an exciting fight, and I hope to put on a good show at least. If anything.
Do you have any thoughts about like X factors? Like everyone's talking about, like, is it going to be VeeJay? Is it going to be Atkins? But is there someone else who might like come in?
I think there's always competitive guys. Like it's pretty close in the top 10. There's always the people that just pop up ahead, and the people that you expect to be up there. But anyone can have a great performance on any day, and really just show up and make a run for the win. So I think like. I know Woods, I guess, isn't going to be there. Actually, I don't know that. I'm assuming since he said it might be his last race in Tahoe.
Said, yeah.
So we'll see. But someone like Kempson might show up. If Johnny, pulls himself together and shows up. I think he's probably the most dangerous person on that course. So anyone can show up and make a big splash, but ultimately, like, I'm racing to beat Atkins. That's the goal. Like, if I pull that off, then it works, you know, and I can take the series. So that's all I have my mind on right now.
Looking forward to the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Right. We're wrapping up the national series. Norm, you weren't there. So maybe Worlds, maybe something else. What do you got in your mind? What do you got on the horizon maybe for 2022?
Well, it's been a long season. You know, we did our first race in February. So it's been a long road. Like, even though we all weren't in like tip-top shape going into Jacksonville, because you can't be going into there, or else you're not going to finish the season strong. It's been a long season, so I have to kind of see how my body feels after this, and I'm definitely going to have to take some time off. You know, Abu Dhabi, just the experience of being there seems really exciting, but it's all about how my body can hang after training for, you know, like 9 months straight.
And I mean, obviously the mental side too. It's like, it's a grind.
Yeah, dude, I've really found like an enjoyment for training again this year. You know, I've changed some things up. I started working with some new coaches and just like the approach to training and everything, and it's kind of mixed it up to where I'm really enjoying the process again. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to dive too far through it and, you know, to where it's a real grind just to get out every day. So I'm not going to push too far. I mean, like I said, I had the one goal. I wanted to be 3K world champion, and I did it. I pulled that off. So everything from here on out is just icing on the cake. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not going to make any promises of where I'll be.
Well, you know, in the meantime, we'll take a lap tomorrow, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see what these guys got to accomplish tomorrow, but it's going to be rough from what I'm hearing. So 24 hours of it.
You considering? You thought about a 24 yourself?
I thought about doing it just to do it, just for the experience, but I am not the guy that likes to show up to races unprepared. It's like, that's why I haven't raced a marathon yet, because I haven't in my training prepared myself for it. If I'm going to do a marathon, I'm going to spend, you know, 6 to 9 months preparing specifically for that goal. But that takes me out of the OCR game, so it's kind of like, I don't like to show up to things unprepared. That's why I've picked and choose the races that I've done this year. I like to show up the best that I can, and if I step on a start line, I have every intention of winning that race. So that's the same way it is with Big Bear. I feel like I've prepared, and I have every intention of winning that race. So I'm not going to show up to something like Utah where I know I'm just out of my depth, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. You got a good shot at Big Bear. Big title on the line. Best of luck. And
I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's
see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
It's going to be fun.
Well, Dave and Dave here in Tent City, and it's nighttime in Tent City. You know what that means, Dave. The soup kitchen is open.
We've got that carrot soup on the boil, and we're going to get out there and talk to some faces and see exactly what's going on.
So stay with us. This thing is going to be incredible as we basically go and watch the misery unfold right before our eyes.
Let's go. Who am I here with? What's your name?
Ryan Hegler.
Ryan Hegler. What are you chewing down? A bit of PB&J?
Peanut butter and honey.
Peanut butter and honey.
Yeah,
You've gone a little bit alternative. What are you up to? What lap?
It's only lap 4 for me, but we're doing it.
Where are you from?
San Antonio, Texas.
It's pretty hilly there, huh?
Yeah, nothing like this.
How you doing with the altitude?
Oh, I'm adjusted. I like the nighttime running a little bit better. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what's your goal?
I think I'm just going to shoot for one more and see as it goes.
You're going to be I don't think there's anyone in San Antonio, Texas that's ever been that high up. You might be the first one. You're going to be like Sir Edmund Hillary summiting Everest. Who else have we got here? Your crew?
Charlotte.
Charlotte, how are you doing?
Great, great.
All right, what's the nutrition strategy? You got the peanut butter and honey. What else you got?
Honey, whole grain, and we have some.
You got a lot of honey in here. You like honey a lot. I was waiting for some. What are you got any Texas specialties in here? Like any Texas secrets or no?
Nah, pickle juice and just water. That's it.
Oh, okay, I was waiting for like a barbecue or something, but maybe that's afterwards.
Yeah, maybe afterwards.
All right, best of luck.
All right,
See you out there. Cheers.
Whoa, what's up, man? What's your name?
Gino.
Gino, man. How many laps have you done so far?
Just 2.
All right, so
enjoying the time, and just the scenery and just the whole atmosphere of Spartan race, just enjoying all of it.
How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
Feeling pretty
you
good.
Look like you're fresh as a daisy right now.
The mind says yes, the body says about 50%.
Okay, yeah, 50's pretty good. You got to get through how many more laps?
2 more laps.
Yeah.
2 more laps.
Is that it, and then you're going to call it, or are you going?
We'll see. We'll see how much time we got.
With a full 24
Never
hours, just
say
keep
never.
on moving.
Yeah, never say never. Absolutely.
What's the strategy right now?
Strategy is to get enough calories and enough food in me to get me back up the mountain.
What you got? What's your secret sauce here? You got Michael's special stuff?
My wonderful support crew brought me some chicken with some rice.
Oh.
And I've got all kinds of vitamins, and I've got peanut butter. I've just got a huge variety of things here. Just what I can swallow and take down.
How about cold wise? Are you feeling warm?
I'm warm.
Yeah?
I'm warm. I haven't felt cold at all yet. I've been real happy about that. So I'm gonna dress a little bit warmer going up though on this next lap just to make sure. But I've actually had to take the hat off a few times, and
cool it back off?
Yeah, because it's been nice and warm. It's just a gorgeous day.
You been synced up with anybody, or you solo this whole time?
I synced up for a lot of the time with a couple different people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool, man. Well, we're excited to see where this takes you, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
We'll catch you after the
Love
next
it.
lap.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
You just got busted.
I got busted.
You tried to sneak past me in the dark.
I totally did.
What lap are you on?
Number 4.
So, tell us a little bit about Billy. Blah
blah blah blah
blah blah blah blah blah. Blah. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because you are an endurance machine. How many Agogis?
3.
How many ultras?
Lost count.
How many beasts? Lost count.
Lost count.
All right.
Yeah.
Now tell us all about your evening.
It was good. This is beautiful weather. This is you couldn't ask for anything better than this. No snow, no rain.
That stuff, you want that, don't you? I can see the look in your eye.
No, I don't. Iceland was pretty tough. But no, it's nice. The hills are brutal. It is brutal. But it's good. So I feel I can probably finish this lap and maybe go for 2 more.
2 more, nice. There you go. Yeah. All right, I'm going to let you get on with it.
Appreciate it.
You got a little bit
Chicken
of
broth, Spartan Plus.
There you
Spartan
go,
Plus.
like that. You got a sandwich full
And,
of rocks.
Uncrustable.
Gravel sandwich.
You know what? This is nice compared to what we get in a Gogi and Death Race.
Exactly. So get out there before we kick your butt.
Spoiled.
Good luck.
All right. How many laps have you finished so far?
Only 2.
2 laps down so far. What's your name?
Jen.
Jen. You about to go out on number 3 or what?
I am.
What's the goal today?
Keep moving for 24 hours.
Oh, I love that. What's the strategy?
Switch into all warm gear now.
Yeah.
Keeping lots of food in and keep moving.
What are you eating?
Oh, I'm eating like a child.
Go on.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Swedish fish, Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, a lot of gummy things.
A little bit of spring energy, some tailwind.
Anything warm?
Oh yeah, I have some chicken soup right now.
Oh, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, how long do you expect this next lap to take?
Oh, at least 3 hours.
Let's get some long ones.
Yeah. I'm kind of old. I don't move that fast.
Are you looking forward to the nighttime or?
No, not at all. I like the sun.
Well, we'll see you in about 3 hours.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Well, that's how it goes, right?
So I'm here with the elite, I'm guessing female leader. The elite female leader.
Yep.
Are you having a great race so far? Oh, yes, I am. How do you think you're going to fare over the next few laps? Oh, it's easy. What about the altitude? I live for altitude. That's unbelievable. Well, best of luck for the rest of the race. I'll let you get back to it. Unbelievable. Female leader, elite.
Well, we're here with
Eric Godet.
Eric.
I don't know if I'm related to Mark Godet, who's the leader right now, but we think we're cousins.
Spelled the same?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from way South Louisiana. Like, if you see swamp people, that's where I'm from.
Are you a swamp person?
No, but I have relatives that need subtitles, so yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, how many laps so far?
I've finished 2 ultras, so I'm going for the the 50K now. This is going to be my 50K lap. So.
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So, so really, you finished 3 laps. The big one and 2 little ones.
Yeah, but I like to say the ultras. So.
2 of the ultras.
Yeah.
Okay. And how you feeling?
Actually good, because she's forcing me to eat.
You look pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you not want to eat and she's making you do it anyway?
No, every time I do one of these, I have to force myself to eat.
Does your stomach kind of like turn itself inside out, or is it just
I don't
like...
get the stomach problems. I'm just not hungry. And I'm like, okay, I'll just keep running. No, you need to eat. So.
What about hydration? Are you having
Oh, I
to force that
constantly,
too?
I'm suck. No, that I can suck down. That's easy, but yeah, tailwind. Yeah, those are good. I don't know if they're a sponsor or if I messed up by saying that.
No, you're
Okay,
fine.
all right.
So what's the end goal for this thing? You're not just gonna stop after the next one.
No. So, big goal is 50 miles, but I was talking to her after this loop. We're gonna set small goals. We're gonna get the 50K first, then we're gonna do 40 miles, and then work our way up. So.
Heck yeah. What's it like crewing for this guy? I need to know. Oh, come on.
Oh, it's good. It's fun. You know, it's a trip here. It's like a big party, bunch of family hanging out and trying to stay warm.
Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
And is he?
She's doing the ultra in Dallas next week.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna run your own ultra, and you'll be crewing.
No.
It's just
that
one
one's
bucket.
Yeah, that's just one bucket.
So is he being a huge diva yet, or is that hasn't started? When do the waterworks start?
I expect, what time is it? About midnight, maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're fixing to go to 15 burpees after 10 o'clock, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to every
better
little
here.
thing. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I'm waiting for that moment when we walk around through here and it's just the waterworks everywhere. Like that's what we're looking forward to. Well, listen. Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll catch you out there
Absolutely.
after the next lap. Come see us.
Cool.
Oh, dude, is this your setup?
Yeah, it's a setup right here.
All right, talk me through it. You got the extreme mitts, you got the massage.
You got the CBD river band.
The CBD?
Yeah.
How many of those do you take?
No, it's just a bomb.
It's a what?
I'm 51
A
years
bomb.
old. I need that.
How old are you?
51.
51. How many laps you done?
Going on the 4th.
Dude, what's the target?
Well, we'll see what happens. I ran yesterday too, in podium date group.
He ran yesterday, did the beast. 51. Okay, so you got to give me a target. We got to give me one.
Probably just gonna do one more lap because I have to race Big Bear next weekend. I'm National Series points, so.
You are an animal.
Sorry.
All right, get out there right
Yeah,
now.
thank
I believe that you can do more than one lap, so I'm going to be watching.
With Mark.
1491. Oh yeah. Very good. We're going to be
All right,
watching.
man. Thank
Cheers,
you.
man. What's going on here? You look like I saw this figure dressed in this blanket. What's going on here? You crewing for someone? Or are you racing?
Oh no, I did it just for myself, and I just got 24 miles, I think so.
Nice, 24 miles so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more lap. That's it, buddy.
Dude, you look. What do you got going here? You got smells like a pasta going on here. What do you? Cup noodles. I thought it was a little bit more like high class.
Banana and some, electrolytes.
Oh, you're really going fancy tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Banana and electrolytes and cup noodles.
I know.
All right, one more lap to go, right?
One more lap because I live in the level beach and I feel so tired, man. It's so high for me, and I think it's enough.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico, but I live in Foam Valley, California.
All right, best of luck to you.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks, man.
Guys, we got Rhea Coble here. You're leading the women's race. How you feeling, Rhea?
Right now, really good. I had a horrible stomach ache for about 2 hours, and it just went away. So, back into high spirits. Looking forward to eating again.
You told me it was going to be 24 hours of fun.
Oh yeah, but fun is like, definition of fun is cute in these events.
Pole punch? What's up, man?
Yeah, Brea. Yeah, I'll give you a special bowl.
Nice. Hey, look at that. Watson, haven't they given you that?
You hold this walkie. I just don't want it to fall out.
They get my mom to do it. Literally.
Yeah.
Right here. They get my mom.
Is that your mom?
Oh. There's your son. There he is. Is he supervising burpees?
You good?
Hey, and then she goes in across the burpees.
Six, you're good.
Be hot. Nah, you do it. You've already spoken to her, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're just gonna follow around as much footage as possible. Get in front of her.
See how long the hills are.
What was that?
Nighttime is my favorite time, because you can't see how long the climbs are and how long that bucket carry is. I feel like you guys tried to murder us this year with the carries.
The bucket carry that lasts like 25 meters on it, you know?
It's like, I feel like it's longer and heavier than in any of the other races I've seen it this year, which was unexpected. I think you compensated well for this nice sunny weather.
Oh yeah, it's so sunny right now, you know?
I mean, very pleasant nature conditions. I compensated for the harder obstacles.
Uh-huh.
I think it's harder than Sweden so far.
Were you worried at all when you were having a little bit of stomach stuff that the race was going to unravel?
No, I knew it would pass. I would either throw up, poop, or fart, and I farted and it was fine. So
There we go.
usually it passes.
Well,
gotta
nighttime,
keep
fun
moving.
time. What's the strategy from here on out?
Moving, eating and moving,
Eating and moving.
and staying warm.
I heard you have tacos coming.
Yeah, I heard so too, but I don't know if I want to chance it for another lap of stomach
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think they'll be here for another lap. So.
Oh, sweet. So
Yeah.
that'll be perfect.
Great, let's get going.
Pretty good, actually.
You actually just had a great lap.
Yeah, I finally hit the spear throw.
Yeah, you've been missing a few of those, huh?
Every single one of them except for that one.
Well, no, now we got it on point. So
Yeah.
now you start to dial in.
Exactly.
Are you gonna start to hunt a little bit?
Oh, I'm hunting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm ready to hunt.
Are you starting to negative split these laps a little bit?
A little bit, actually. I actually just did a better split than my previous one. So.
And you were good on that one. So.
Yeah, yeah. Feeling pretty good, man.
All right, are we seeing another championship on the horizon right now?
I hope so. Miguel's doing pretty well, but
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna go after him.
All right, well, go Chase. Good luck, man.
Thanks.
I'm out here, I'm up on the mountain. It is cold, it is dark. This night race is in full effect. I'm so excited for this portion of the race. So we're up at the higher point of the mountain here. This is when they just start their descent, but they got some obstacles that they have to hit when they're up here. One of those challenges is the twister. Now this obstacle is challenging on a normal course. Now it's gonna be challenging after hitting it 4, 5, 6 times, 12, 14, 16 hours into a race. It's going to be brutal. Now, one of the worst things about this obstacle is actually the structure of it. It's raw metal, it rotates in your hands, there's small holds, so your hands are gonna get destroyed. This is where technique is gonna be a huge factor here, and also the tools that you're using. That's your leader. That's your leader, Miguel Medina, and you could see he had gloves on for this grip obstacle, and that is so key here. You'll see a lot of the elites and a lot of just anyone coming through here, they're gonna be holding their hands, it's gonna be rough. Their hands are gonna be gray and silver from all the metal that's wearing off, and it's brutal. It hurts doing it the first time. So going 5, 6, 7 times through this obstacle, it's gonna be brutal later on. So him using gloves, it's very strategic, making sure that his hands are gonna be protected. It's not about having extra grip. He knows he's strong, it's about making sure his hands can last this entire 24-hour period. So that's a strong strategy right there. Let's see how it pays off. All right, so you're gonna see 2 main methods. There's a lot of variation, but 2 primary methods. One where people have straighter arms, and one where people are gonna keep that lockout. The lockout is gonna save your hands and make sure you have a better grip, but it's gonna trash your arms a lot sooner. When you go straight arm, you have a lot more friction on the hands, especially when the bars start rotating, they're gonna spin in your hands, and that's gonna be a lot harder on the skin long term. But it might save your arms and give you a little strength later on. So it's kind of a roll of the dice either way, but it's gonna be interesting to see which athletes choose which methods and what works long term. So our second place female. Yep. Keeping the obstacles going, coming up on the halfway point of this race, and she's still going strong. It's awesome. I mean, you see so many of the top elites in the world failing obstacles in their first attempt. This has got to be her 4th time coming through at this point. It's unbelievable. I can't even imagine. Nice. Good work. Nicely done. All right, guys, we're here at the spear throw, and historically this has been called the burpee maker. It can be totally brutal. And now that it's nighttime, the temps are dropping like crazy. 1, it's harder to see the targets, especially if you don't have a super bright headlamp. 2, you got really, really cold hands. So having warm hands getting here is gonna be huge. It's amazing how much, when your hand gets a little bit cold, how hard it is to control the spear and just get it into the position you want to throw it. So keeping your hands warm is gonna be super key, finding the balance point, and ultimately just having a good attitude towards it and not getting defeated before you throw it. Those are gonna be huge. Let's see how this guy takes it on.
This small. Aim for a small part of the target.
I hit 15 in a row, and then I got to Killington, missed 2. Now I've missed 2 here. About to be 3.
No, make it count.
Oh, I hope so.
And watch the string right under your fence. It's coiled up right there.
Yes,
let's
sir!
go.
Right in the forehead. Let's go.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Heck yeah.
Oh.
Let's go. I get hyped seeing it. He's like, oh man, you know, I missed like so many spears. And he hits it right dead center. Like, first time I failed that in forever. Oh, sorry for that. It's insane. You can't see more than a couple feet in front of you, even with the brightest of lights, which we have right here, and you can't see anything coming. So this is really where guys are already tired. They're already in a fatigue state. What we're gonna see now is the mental side really comes out. You're out here, you're in the dark, you can't see a thing, and you have to keep grinding. You don't know where your other competitors are. All you know is that I gotta put one foot in front of the other and keep trudging through this course. It's gonna be really exciting. I think we're gonna see some battles throughout this night, but it's just getting started, but it is already pitch black.
Right, here we are by the fire. I think the rain's coming down out there here in Telluride. You're back after an incredible 2019 win in Sweden. And then pandemic came, probably derailed all your plans. What brings you back to the Ultra World Championship?
Well, I think I love these races. So as you know, if the next one was going to happen last year or in 5 years, I'd be back. I think there's something so unique about the 24-hour format. I really like the loop situation because you see so many people, there's so much human interaction. It just brings out so many emotions that a normal 2-hour race wouldn't. And there's just so much troubleshooting and fixing going on, and I think that's like really what I really like. So it brings a lot that, you know, regular races throughout the seasons don't, and it's also in my home state, so there's no way I'd miss this one.
Absolutely. How does it feel coming in as the reigning champion? What kind of pressure is, or if there is any pressure, how does it feel, you know, after having to wait so long?
I don't think I really have any pressure coming into this, and I think that also has to do with the way this race is, because it doesn't really matter if you have a good or a bad day. The race is so long that at some point your fitness is what's going to matter, and that's, you know, the last 2 years of training. That's not something that happened in the last 2 weeks. So in a way, my only goal is to do my best and to keep moving for 24 hours, and that is very independent of, you know, which place people think that I'm going to take, or maybe which place I'm expected to take. So it's sort of like I can't wait to go play for 24 hours in the changing Aspens, and I don't really feel under pressure at all.
Is that what it's like, you playing for 24 hours?
It is a lot like playing. It's, you know, like it has the ups and the downs. The downs are really low and the ups are very high. But it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like competition, because at no point can you really be competing with others. It's always just with the course and with yourself.
Tell me about the pandemic. I've been following you on social media throughout that time. You've done some incredible adventures. You managed to get out of the US and go back home and then come back. And how has that all been for you? Has it thrown your training into disarray, or has it given you a chance to actually, I don't know, hone in on new things?
I think pandemic saved my athletic career. When it hit was right when I was about to be like really burned out. I was on the way to my first race of the season and I didn't want to go there. So in a way, it was the off season that I would never take by myself. And I don't think, I was also like pretty thick in the eating disorder and all of that. So it put a pause on competition, which kind of let me take a step back and evaluate what kind of an athlete I want to be, how do I want to lead this life, and make some big changes. And then it was long enough that it allowed me to rebuild my base and start approaching training from a different perspective. And actually, Spartan Games were the first competition back, and I was definitely not in any kind of shape to do that.
Apparently you were.
Well, I was like riding my bike around because I was so sore after the strength sessions that walking just didn't seem appealing. But yeah, I feel like it was like a big reset. So this is probably the healthiest and most excited I've been about a 24-hour race in my athletic career. So I'm really excited.
That's great. I speak to a lot of ultra endurance athletes, from the super long level. And you mentioned that you were kind of going off the rails a bit there, with your training. You weren't looking forward to that race or whatever. You've come out publicly, talked about, your eating disorder and things like that. Very brave. Do you think there's something about the mind of an ultra endurance athlete that lives on the edge of, keeping the car on the road or going into the barricade?
Yeah, I think there's definitely something addicting about ultra events. I feel like it comes with pushing your limits, because every time you do something that's kind of beyond something you've done before, you've now pushed the limit of what you thought you could do further. And I think it's sort of, I don't know, probably a lot of us have a little bit of an addicting personality, and so you just keep asking, okay, how much further you can move it. And it's really easy to just like keep repeating the cycle until your body's like, okay, well, we're done here.
Right. And that's what had happened to you, obviously, when you say that you went into the 2020 season just...
Yeah, it wasn't any specific event. It was just a culmination of 3 years of racing full-time all the time without a break, and not in a very healthy way.
What are the changes that you've made? I mean, we don't have to go into great detail, but just holistically, what are you doing different now?
I eat everything. I guess I healed my eating disorder, which is the biggest part of it. And then I've also started and picked up all the different sports. So I run a lot less and I do a lot of other sports, and I make sure I never train with pain. So those are kind of the biggest changes that kind of resulted in a lot of successes this season.
Multi-sport, don't train with pain.
And eat enough.
And eat enough.
Yeah.
That's the 3 tips. That's great tips
Yeah.
for people. What are the differences that you're noticing coming here to Telluride versus Sweden in 2019? I mean, you know Colorado pretty well.
Yeah.
What's different here?
There's no snow.
There's no snow.
That's
Correct.
the biggest difference, and I actually think that is going to make it harder. I think snow helped in a way that it made the descents a lot easier. The last couple of laps, we were all sliding on our butts in snow pants. We're not going to be doing that here. You know, like the scenery is very different, and I think it's also the altitude. I think that's also a bigger challenge. So I think in itself, it's going to be a harder race, despite it not being like -10 degrees. You can always dress up and feel warm, but you can't dress out of the altitude or dress out of having to still run downhill.
Here's a question I reckon everybody will want to know. Does an elite athlete like yourself still feel the kind of massive impact of altitude when you're up there running?
Yes, that's why I spent the last 2 weeks really, really high. So the last 2 weeks I went on a road trip and I basically drove my van up mountain passes every night, and I slept at like between 10 to 12,000 feet. And then I came down to 8,000 feet and I trained there. And Friday and Saturday last week were so hard that after that I thought I had COVID because I was so tired. But then I was like, no, you're just like, you train really hard at very high altitude. So, you know, it's not really related to fitness. It's just related to where do you live relative to where you're going to race.
Speaking about racing, this weekend, I think it's very clear you're the favourite going in. Who's your competition this weekend?
I don't think there's anybody that I've raced with in the past in the 24-hour races, but the first time I won a 24-hour race, nobody knew who I was. So I don't think that just because there's not names that we know, there's not going to be competition in both female and male field. And I think for all of us, it just goes like, do your best, and then the person with, you know, best day and best preparation is going to come out on top.
That's a great point. I think the pandemic's actually helped us in a sense with this race that, yeah, it's enabled a lot of these new names to come in. We're not seeing the, you know, the Junkers here, and, you know, on the men's side, Ryan's not here.
Yeah.
And I think that, yeah, I think after this we may see, you know, maybe some new dark horses.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm hoping that women make it on the male podium this weekend.
There you go.
Ryan left the spot open.
Right, left the spot open. I like to see that. There you go. I think finally the ultra format out of all OCR formats is the most extreme. You know, and I think a lot of people when they look at Spartan sort of think, wow, that's not for me. But I personally think that people can kind of drop in anywhere. You don't have to start with a sprint, and you don't have to. What would be your advice to somebody who sees this ultra format and is thinking maybe they've done a bunch of trail running, or, you know, maybe they're quite fit, but maybe they're a bit scared? What would be your advice?
I've done a trail race and it was way harder. I think in a way obstacles almost give you a break, both mentally and like they literally unload your legs. When you're on monkey bars, they unload your legs when you're crawling like under a barbed wire. And so I feel like in a way that, and then also just seeing people all the time, like ultras, especially if it's point to point, can be very lonely because where you are, that's kind of where you are. But because it's a loop format, you just keep seeing people over and over. And so I feel like try it because it might actually be easier than the ultras you're already doing.
And seeing those people, it's sort of like, it creates a bit of a sense of like a mini community out there for 24 hours, doesn't it? So,
oh yeah, absolutely. That's like where I draw my energy, is when I'm down low, I draw it from people who are on course with me at the same time.
Even Raya gets
Absolutely.
down low.
Yeah.
which is, you know, a lot of people may not realize that. But
I think there's a lot of photo evidence of me crying.
It would be arguable still whether you're that low, because the speed you have on course is quite impressive. So anyway, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
I think it's going to be an incredible race. I think we're going to have great conditions, and we can't wait to watch you race.
And I can't wait to race.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, Dave Watson here. It's the witching hour out on course. This is the time in an ultra where everybody kind of loses their mind. It's kind of this, you're by yourself out on the hill, you're starting to lose your memory. How many laps have you done? You haven't eaten enough food. You're kind of going mad. And honestly, it's like a Halloween fest out there. We've been out on the hill actually with our cameras, taking a look at what some of the people are doing, thinking and acting like out there. Take a look.
How are you feeling physically? How do you feel body-wise? Don't let that fuss you. Right. I know, obviously that sucks, but
it sucks because I didn't mean to. Like I would never do that.
Yeah, I know. Definitely the worst
on purpose.
But there's an opportunity to.
So Katie Knight just rolled into the pit area and she's having a little bit of a moment of despair. Little bit upset about her 30-minute penalties, feels it's really knocked her out of the race. And her team is rallying around her, resetting her focus, getting her back into this thing, because for Katie right now, it's going to be about just calming down, staying positive, keep moving. She knows it's a 24-hour race. We asked her, what was the objective for this race?
Things happen.
Super lame. Hi, how's it going, guys?
It's going good.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Great, until I messed up.
We know.
Yeah.
But what was the game plan from the start?
Run for 24 hours.
What's the game plan now?
Run for 24 hours.
Okay. What are we talking about? Eat some pizza, go run.
Yeah, well, do we got bars or anything?
Yep.
Wait.
For those of you guys who don't know, Katie Knight missed 3 burpees on her previous couple laps, one of them, and she took a 90-minute penalty, 30 minutes per burpee. It's just a strict, hard rule that they have had, as Mike Morris said, for 3 years in these Spartan Ultra Championship events, and it's a really tough break for her because she was rolling in second place and very competitively, just barely outside of first, chasing Rhea Koval very hard. And obviously you see how strong she looks right now. She's still going hard, but that has completely changed the complexion of her race, and now she's fighting to hold off Chikorita and get second place. She's worried about those penalties and the after effects that they're going to have on her moving forward. So for Katie Knight, she's, like we said, pulling it together, getting back out on that course. Maybe she can get more laps than Chikorita, and it won't matter. All right, so how you feeling right now?
I'm still having fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's the key. Still having a good time?
Yeah.
You know you're really close to Katie right now.
Oh.
She just left. She just left 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Okay, so we just saw Chikorita right there. She's currently sitting in second place. She's third place on the course, but second place on the clock in the women's race. And that's because Katie Knight did have that 90 minutes of penalty assessed to her. So with that in mind, Katie is thinking, okay, I need to get more laps in order to maintain this lead, because it is about who has the most laps and then who does it in the fastest amount of time. So if she can manage to squeeze out an extra lap over Chikorita, she can win. And Alex Rodania, that's Chikorita, she knows she's going to have to hammer home if she's going to be able to catch her and maintain that second place. She ran a faster lap on that one, about 14 minutes faster than Katie did. So she has the legs right now to do it, but both of them are going to be driving hard through the night for the rest of this race. Now.
Thank you.
Okay, so how do your feet feel?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's easier running here than on road.
That's true. What's been your favorite part of the course so far?
the downhill, the technical downhill.
And what was your nutrition strategy right now?
Hammer perpetuum.
Perpetuum.
Yeah.
So that's my go-to. So we asked her about what's your nutrition strategy, what's your plan here. She's taking in Perpetuum. It's a really nice mix of carbs and proteins and fats. It's really good long-distance endurance fuel. Usually it fuels you for about 4 hours at a time. She's in really good spirits. She says she's really enjoying the technical downhills, even though we're doing it in the middle of the darkness in the night. So look for a good battle between the two of them. I think it's going to be really fun to watch.
Josh, here we are in Telluride, and I haven't seen you for a couple of years due to the old pandemic. But one thing that is burned into my memory, 2017, Iceland. It was a bit of a fairy tale race for you, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I went into that race with a lot of.
You went in with a ring in your shorts.
Yeah, that was. I had a lot of goals. I had a lot of goals for that race.
For anyone that doesn't know, to win, to propose.
Yep.
To your wife. And what else? What was the third one? That's enough.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Yeah, it was. I mean, that was amazing. That whole race was just. I knew right away that was for me. I run in the cold in New Hampshire all the time, and it was brutal. I mean, it was snow, rain, sleet. It was 70 mile per hour at one point. I remember throwing the spear, and it literally went back and almost hit me in the face. It was awesome.
It's amazing. So, given all of that, and some fantastic performances since then, and a few ups and downs at the Ultra World Champs as well. What brings you to Telluride for the Ultra World Champs?
I want the win again.
Yeah.
I've been, this entire year, I've just been focusing just on this race. I've been all over the place, hired a coach. I've just been training just for this. And also, I mean, I've never been to Colorado, so why not?
This is amazing. By the way, yes, anybody at home is watching this needs to realize, doesn't matter if you haven't been there before, you can still shoot for the
absolute goal. Absolutely. I mean, New Hampshire, for those that don't know, I mean, East Coast, our biggest mountain is 6,000 feet. We're sitting right now at probably like 9,500 feet. Yeah. And we haven't even gone up the mountain yet.
Correct. I can imagine you in New Hampshire, at the top of the tallest peak with a ladder.
Just you try and get it in.
Exactly. You know what's interesting for me? Maybe we can sort of go down this path for a second.
Yeah.
You have a very interesting day job in healthcare. We had a pandemic. You're an athlete. You're working in healthcare. This is an interesting sort of combination going on here. How was the last couple of years here?
It's been rough. I mean, I work in an emergency department over at Concord Hospital in New Hampshire, and we were kind of slow. It picked up, and then the numbers started really picking up, and we saw we're still seeing a lot of really sick people. I mean, I pretty much, for the most part, probably got it about a year ago.
There you go.
And I was struggle bus for a couple of months, just trying to get over it. And now it's still not. It's crazy out there.
And you're finding time for your training.
Yeah, that's how I'm working as an emergency medicine PA, which is what I do, and my shifts are all over the place. I work nights, days, weekends, holidays, but I just fit in 20 hours of training within that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so does your medical background give you a great understanding of the challenges of altitude here?
I think so. I actually, right before I came here, I actually went to a medical conference in Arizona where surprisingly one of the classes was on acute mountain sickness, cerebral edema, pulmonary edema.
Surprisingly?
Yeah. No, well,
I just happened to be
it was one of the highlights, I think, of that conference, because I'm like, all right, now I know what I'm getting into. Nausea, headache. Okay, I know the symptoms. But I mean, it can get pretty dangerous actually with some of that stuff. I mean, you can actually have cerebral edema, which is basically just a lot of swelling within your brain.
Right.
And it can get pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah. There's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Where I've been in a similar situation. What have you been doing then to offset this coming into this race?
So, leading into the race, I did a lot of heat training. So I would go in the sauna, and I would crank it up as high as I can over in my gym, and I would do push-ups, sit-ups, just enough to basically increase my blood volume.
I don't think a lot of people realize that
Yeah.
heat training can have great
Oh,
effects
absolutely.
at altitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one way. I mean, I considered getting an altitude tent, but they're pretty pricey, so
Yeah.
I ended up going the route of heat. And then I've been out here for the past like week and a half. I actually had an altitude tent, sleeping in a campground for a week.
A real one.
Yeah, a real one, exactly.
Yeah, with bears and stuff.
Yeah, oh, it was just every morning you wake up here though, you see the sun going over the alpines, the yellow leaves everywhere. It's just, if just one thing for anybody, even if you don't even do this race, come here. I mean, this is just amazing. It's beautiful, this state.
It's a stunning, stunning place.
Oh, absolutely.
How are you mentally approaching this particular race? You mentioned that you've come in for the win. This is the year. It's been your focus. There are going to be some demons out there.
I absolutely know that. I mean, you can't. You always try and think of run your own race. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. But I mean, with the names that are going to be out here, you can't. I know there are guys that are probably faster than I am.
Who are they? Who are you tracking?
I mean, you have Tyler Veerman. You have Miguel. You have
Newell.
You have Max Ryman. Yeah. You have people from other countries that I probably don't know. I mean, there's so much talent out here. And everybody is a great mountain runner, but I think it's just at the end of the day, it's who wants it more and who can actually, because in the 20th hour, it's not your body that carries you, it's your mind.
Yeah.
And
well, going into this race as well, I mean, you've been preparing for this for a long time.
Yeah.
And that one man, Ryan Atkins,
yeah,
you wouldn't have had any idea whether he was going to be here or not. So
exactly,
you've come in ready to battle with the best.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you gotta say, I mean, anytime Ryan Atkins is here, you gotta, but 24 hours is a long time though. Anything could happen.
A lot goes wrong.
a lot could happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of bummed that he's not here. I mean, it's always good having, like the best of the best to try and, I mean, that just elevates you to a whole nother level. So yeah, it's...
Well, as you mentioned though, there is plenty of good talent here this weekend in the men's field and in the women's field.
Absolutely.
And so I'm sure that they will be putting you to the test.
Yeah, certainly.
So the competition, I would argue, has been getting fiercer.
Oh, absolutely.
Over the years. How have you changed since that first, that first ultra that you ever did and now?
I mean, there still was some great competition that year. You had Pavel Polanco. This guy's won the spine race over in the UK, I think 2 or 3 times. David Dietrichs, Robert Killian obviously was there. Yeah. So it was certainly some great competition, but now it's just, I mean, I think in all of OCR in general, I mean, there's so many athletes that are coming from different sports, different athletic backgrounds, and it's just, it keeps elevating everybody's performance to the next level. Certainly myself, I've had to dial in different things or, try out different things I've never done. For example, I worked on mobility significantly more this past year to be able to get faster, last longer. So that's certainly, I mean, you have to look at every single aspect of your training, because if you don't, you're going to be left behind.
What's your nutrition strategy out there, if you're able to talk broadly about it?
Yeah, so for the race, I generally use Tailwind in my water. I just mix that throughout the race, and then it's everything. I mean,
Were you chugging pizzas?
Right now, we're actually looking at both of our foods. Like, oh, we both have Snickers and M&Ms. It's everything. Some of my secret weapons are peanut butter, honey, and banana sandwiches. I know a lot of the Tour de France does that, or the peanut butter and honey sandwiches. I love chocolate-covered espresso beans.
Oh, yeah.
At the 2 o'clock hour.
One of my colleagues has been walking around with this giant bag of espresso chocolate-covered beans, and she hasn't slept for about 5 days. So that's a good one.
It definitely helps, but just the classic ultra stuff: potato chips, pickles, everything else.
The ultra is a great chance to eat, especially as a medical professional, right?
Yep.
If someone came to you and said, Josh, I'm sucking down potato chips, peanut butter, honey, right?
I'd say, yeah, you got to eat a salad.
Right?
Nobody's eating a salad during this race.
No, you don't eat a salad. This is the one time
where as an athlete you have the liberty to...
Calories are calories. You just have to keep the furnace, especially, and it's going to get cold. It's going to get cold. It always got cold in Iceland and Sweden. It's going to get cold out here. You just have to keep the furnace burning. So the more you eat, actually, it doesn't just help with your energy, it helps you keep warm as well.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you at extremely steep downhills?
That's actually, so that's pretty much what my coaches said. I mean, if New Hampshire mountains are very, very steep. I mean, you go from sea level to like 4,000 footers. So all of my training basically has just been power hiking and bombing downhills, which from the looks of it, that's what we're going to be doing on this course.
That's exactly what you're going to be doing.
Oh, absolutely.
One question I'd love to ask you is, what is it about the ultra OCR format versus, you know, let's say the shorter stuff, or even trail runs, for example? What is it that draws you to this?
I love the mental aspect of this. It's not just a physical game, it's a mental game. You know, you do like a Spartan sprint, for example, it's just going hard. You don't think. You just basically redline the entire time, which, you know, there's some fun to that. But with this aspect, it's, you have to, there's so many things you have to think about throughout the whole race. Am I going too fast right now? Am I going too slow? Is the other guy behind me, is he not? You know, I mean, there's literally sometimes in ultras where we'll like shut off our headlamps and maybe they don't see us coming until you pass right by that person. There's so many different mental aspects of it. I love that I just love it.
So it's the mental, it's the chest.
Exactly. Yes.
Psyching out.
Exactly.
I see what's going on here.
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to be deploying a few psychological tactics out there.
Yeah, you have to.
I think someone like Aaron Newell might have his own.
Oh, Aaron, yeah. I forgot to mention Aaron as well. I mean, he's definitely some amazing competition that's going to be out there as well. And he's definitely like a mind games. That's why I love racing against it.
That's great. Josh, you're such a great guy. I think everyone just loves you so much, and it's brilliant to watch you compete. We can't wait for this weekend. Wishing you the best of luck. Would love to see you take that win that you're looking for.
I hope so. That's what I'm going for.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Is it good? Yeah. Boys. Hell yeah. What's up, Mark?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very slack. Dude. How you guys feeling?
Stupid neck.
Good. We've just been
pretty good.
Same pace since the last time we saw you.
I know. Just holding it down, starting to pull away. Two leading men heading into Helix right now. Bierman. Got that. Misery loves company, right?
Yeah. It does.
There you go. I've been telling him, bud, as the next goes on, you get faster. Yeah, man. He does. He gets faster the whole time. Not my optimal position to get back. Have you failed anything? You're doing great. It's amazing. Just chipping away at this. Yeah, I told him, like, let's just keep this going.
That is just such an awkward bell.
Yeah, it is. Just like it was 8 hours ago. Mirror images of one another.
You got punched so quickly.
Mark, did you get punched? Yeah, you didn't get punched.
Oh, it's good, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This whole punch is
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. You can let me get a burpee.
I should have threw the whole puncher away.
You know, Newell dropped, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Boys. Way to go, way to go. Keep pushing, fellas, keep pushing. Oh, and the fire's going on.
Keep it up. Good stuff.
Thank you. Good, getting after it. Let's go, let's go. Have fun.
Thank you.
There you go.
Good job.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Yep. 9 in a row.
Clean lap, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go.
99.
The woods.
You good? Clean?
Yep, good, clean. Thank you.
6, you're good.
I'm just up at 70 on my watch.
71.22.
31 miles.
Yeah. I'm kind of blown away right now. Like,
Thank
is
you,
this
Calvin.
real life right now?
You guys are putting on way more distance than I expected.
My motivation is to beat Atkins' record.
What is it, 88 or something?
82.
82? I think you got that. 2 more laps.
Yeah. Or 1.5. Or, well, yeah, 2, sorry. 2 to count.
It's not even 4 a.m.
Don't remind me. Like 7 more minutes.
Miguel tried to.
Taste it if you have to. 29.
Thank you.
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Whew. I just gotta. My body's like, what's happening?
Oh yeah, yeah. And the thing that's interesting is, so this is Veerman's first really long ultra. This is twice as far as he's ever run in his entire life, which is just wild. But he's got the physical tools, and he has Mark's experience factor because he just gets to ride on Mark's experience, stay together, let him make the decisions on pacing and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's
dude.
a perfect fit.
It's a completely different game being out there for hours and hours, especially in the middle of the night, and the cold, the misery, all alone. But having someone to bounce off of, this is like...
Exactly. Having someone experienced, like my last 2 ultras, I ran the first half with Mark. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's dialed in, and you can just learn so much. I'm just glad that he has some company, because these are the dark hours, man. This is when it's tough. When you're with somebody else, their spirits are high. They're laughing hard. They're having fun.
Yeah, man. Tyler, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thanks. Go crush, okay? Keep moving, Mark.
All right, Miguel Medina just came in. Took him a little bit longer than he expected and we expected, but we predict that he's going to have to really put the hammer down to catch up to Veerman and Mark Cadet at this stage. Yeah, I'll talk to you, Miguel.
Huh?
How you doing, man? You're having a great race. Just keep doing what you're doing. You can talk to me while you go. Was that lap sounds a bit tough?
Yeah, no, I kind of bonked a little, and the cold started to get to me a bit.
What's the plan from here on out? You've been sticking to a plan. Does the same apply?
I think so. I'm just gonna keep grinding, man. What else are you gonna do?
Yep. You said you bit the dirt on that lap?
Yeah, just a little. It's not a big deal. I knocked my knee the first net lap on the box, or no, Lazarus. What is it? The Z wall. And when I hit that Z wall, I feel like my knee's been just swelling up little by little. But
still quite a few hours to go, so anything can happen. But he's got quite a bit of ground to make up from this point.
So, Rhea Coble came in for a very quick transition, clearly going through a little bit of struggle. It sounded, I didn't want to get in her way, but it sounded like she's having some trouble getting food in, getting enough water during the laps. Her body's just not having it right now. But she just said she wanted to keep moving, and it looks like she's just going to keep pushing through. But she has a solid cushion of a full lap on second place. So even some struggles like that, I don't think it's going to stop her now. But it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out. Hopefully the body loosens up a little bit and we can get a little bit of food into her so she can keep pushing on and keep putting on the show that she's doing. So we'll see. This is Katie Knight wrapping up her 7th lap. Getting some fuel, getting crude. Getting some tips from some other ultra athletes. It looks like the strategy right now is getting some warm water into her bottles to have some warm water to take in around her next lap. Clearly getting a little cold out here. But this is some serious toughness. This is some serious mental toughness, like operating out of a bucket here, but just rolling right through these laps. Just finished up 7th lap.
We got you. We know who you are.
Here, Todd, here. Right here, probably.
I don't think I can do more than
What's going on?
I think Mark and I are just going out once more. I don't know what his full plan is, but I'm just gonna do this last one. That's the plan. That's the plan for now.
Take one at a time.
We were talking about 2 for so long, and that just seems so overwhelming to me. Kind of got in my head a little. Is there ice in here? Like choked on it. But I don't want to think about 2 right now.
Just think about the one. You'll get back here, we'll make a decision later.
One at a time, dude. One at a time.
I just want that sun to come out.
It will soon. You don't have much time with that at all.
The sun will give you new life.
Yeah.
Okay?
I believe that.
Keep them company, keep working each other.
Just stick together, keep moving.
This is insane.
You're running really well. You're still doing really great laps. Your goal, just
so
to
hard
get one
to
of
fuel.
these. Yeah, you can.
Oh.
Okay, I'll hold that if you want.
I don't feel as bad. It's just like sometimes I just freak myself out so easily. Like
Everyone is getting like weird thoughts right now.
Exactly.
Everyone is totally fine.
You're cool. You're cool.
Everyone's
You got
like
this.
having a really hard
now.
time right
You
now.
got it.
Come on, man.
You totally got it. All right, breathe deep. It's cool. One more thing. Can you do this? You got
Hang
it.
on, just give me a sec.
You're fine. You're fine.
Take a little bit more liquid.
Now that you have some better drink too, that'll probably help you out a lot.
Yeah, I almost freaking
I have some.
broke
I got
down
some
in
real
front of
close.
Mark.
You got at least 2 laps left in you?
I'm going to. I'm doing 2.
Just as good as where we started, right?
Yeah. I'm going to eat and walk.
Hit it, boys. Oh, fucking let's do this, man.
Here's lap 10. I just left when we were coming in.
All right, so basically what just happened, Mark Gaudet and Tyler Veerman just finished lap, was that 10? And they're going out again for another one. So Mark is in great shape right now. He looks great. He feels great. He says he wants at least 2 more laps. Veerman's on the verge of tears. He's choking back, holding back tears. He's like, he didn't even want to do this one, but he knows he has to hold that podium spot. So he's going. He said he can only think about 1 lap right now, but he and Mark waited for him before he took off. They're still working together, still pushing each other. It's pretty amazing.
Mark Gaudet looking so strong. Look, a big smile on his face, just grinding through. No big deal out here. Setting records at the Ultra World Championships. You got another one in you?
Yep, I'm going.
Let's go, let's go. So the average has been 2:05, was a fast lap during this event, all the way up to 2:18, 2:20. Mark Gaudet just laid down a 1:55, and he's going out again. He's putting the pedal to the metal, putting the hammer down. The only thing that is going to stop that guy is the clock. Fatigue isn't going to be the thing. So Tyler Veerman, he's up here. He's coming up on the finish of this last lap. Absolutely stellar performance, and it looks like he's making a decision if he's going to go for another one or not. His body's got to be hurting mentally. He's got to be so fatigued. Never even covered half as much mileage as he's covered today. Previously, his longest run was 31 miles, and he's easily doubled that and beyond today.
Oh my God.
Only doubled your highest mileage ever and then exceeded it.
Yeah, I mean, and having Mark there, it was just like such a huge help, you know? I don't think I could have done it without him, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's hard to get that in a race like this, like working together with someone, like just another competitor. I mean, it takes your mind off things completely. I could have been in a whole different place, you know, without him. So we helped each other out. You know, I pushed him, he pushed me, and I think we exceeded our expectations, I think, because he's still kind of new to this a little, the longer OCR races. So, and I think this is kind of his last big OCR type race.
Really?
That's kind of what he told me. So I don't know, we'll see. I mean,
see what happens.
Yeah.
But dude,
Tyler, were you guys good friends? Sorry. Were you good friends before? Did you have this plan going into it?
Yeah, we actually did. After Ohio, you know, we really liked what we had going, and you know, we were both new to it, and we both shared similar interests and experiences, and he had a lot of good advice for me, and I learned some things from him. We both helped each other out through obstacles, like just figuring out little techniques to save energy and all that, and you know, we kind of just helped each other out in a way. But yeah, we planned for it. Yeah, I'm really glad we did. Like literally the whole race. Like.
Yeah, dude, freaking amazing. Well, man, I'll let you get recovered, but just awesome performance.
Thank you. I'm so happy.
Go get some rest, dude.
It's like the best day of my life.
Yeah, man.
Max, you got a second?
Yeah.
Dude, holy shit. What an amazing race. How you feeling?
It was a ton of fun. I actually feel better than I did the second last lap. But, you know, seeing Josh go out there looking really strong and everyone behind me is cutting. So I figured stop now rather than hate myself for another couple hours. But, you know, this is the longest I've ever gone. So it feels really cool. Yeah.
By what? What's your previous max?
55 miles. And today was 76. Or,
Today?
You know, whatever the official mileage.
Plus.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. So you do have a little bit. I mean, you could go for one more, but You're gonna
I
call
could.
quits?
Yeah, I could do a couple more, but knowing how I felt in the transition area before that last lap, my crew had to push me out. I didn't want to go. So knowing things can just switch like that, rather play it safe, rest up, and try to fit another ultra in before the end of the year.
It makes sense. It's not worth ruining everything over that. And what was the best part of the race and the hardest part of the race for you?
The hardest part was definitely the end of the bucket carry, going into that steep carry up to the spear throw. Best part was watching the sunset. I mean, you know, you have to love nature if you're out here doing this for 24 hours, right? And you know, my crew pushing me out, reminding me why I'm doing this, really helped me get through that last lap. So it was awesome.
That's such inspirational words, Max. Max Freeman, you've done such an amazing job. We've loved watching your race. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was an awesome time, an awesome event. I hope you guys come back here next year, but we'll see. I'll be there. So.
We do too, and you absolutely will be there. We're going to make sure of it. Max, congratulations. Have a great night.
Thanks so much. You too.
He's done, right?
Yeah.
You want one more?
I'm going one more.
I'm gonna go with you. Unless you don't want me to.
No, let's do it.
Let's do it together. I'm here with your 2021 Women's Spartan Ultra World Champion, Rhea Coble, back-to-back titles. How does it feel?
Oh, right now, very sore and very tired.
Yeah.
But really happy. I almost quit a lap early, like in Sweden again, but my crew wouldn't let me, and I'm really, really grateful for that.
Isn't that great when like you're like, no, I've had enough, and they tell you no.
They're like, no, you didn't.
You haven't had enough.
I'm like, but everything hurts. You didn't.
Like, you all don't know how much this hurts.
Yeah.
But okay, so you had some struggles in the middle of the night.
Yes.
You want to tell us about that?
At some point I just got really, really depleted on course. I had trouble eating, I think because of the combination of the cold, and I had some stomach issues earlier, and I just came into the transition starving, and I really wanted to tell somebody at A-Frame how hungry I was, and because they were just taking naps, like it didn't work out the way I wanted to, so I had a mild meltdown. But my crew was great. It was all just like, I think when you're that fatigued, I think I just like cry as like my main emotion.
Yeah, I know. And then you pulled it together.
I did pull it together. I had the whole lap to cry on, and then it got better.
Yeah. And so you ended up with 10?
I ended up with 10 laps. I'm not entirely sure how many miles that is. My watch said like around 80.
Yeah, we're all trying to sort that all out. But
perfect.
You are the outright women's champion. What's the most sore part of your body right now?
I think my quads. I actually walked it in for the last 21 miles. I tried to jog, but my quads wouldn't let me. But I think just like ankles and knees and everything. I think it was much harder than Sweden because there was no snow. So there was just a lot of rocks and hard beating on your joints.
Those descents were really, really tough.
They were super technical, especially at 4 a.m. when you're so loopy.
Yeah.
And you can't see anything in the shadows everywhere.
All right, so we're going to go for 3 for 3.
Oh, gosh, don't ask me that question today.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll see you back on the start line here in another year. In the meantime, back-to-back Spartan Ultra World Champion. That's got to feel good.
It does feel good.
Enjoy it, Rhea.
Thank you.
Well, I'm standing at the finish line with your men's 2021 Spartan Ultra World Champion, Mark Gadet. Mark, congratulations, first of all.
Thanks,
How does it feel?
Feels good. You know, we've been working towards this for the last 3 years. You know, me and you. So
literally together.
Literally together. So, you know, this might be my last OCR race for a while. Going back into a new job. So it was just a sweet way to end. You know, my career, I guess, in OCR, if you will.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. So you're the only guy that completed 12 laps out there, and I know you wanted that to be like kind of your stamp on this race.
Right. I mean, I think the first 22 and a half hours, Tyler and I ran together, and I felt like the only way to be the true champion was to, you know, get one extra lap on Tyler, because I felt like he was every bit as strong as me over the last 24 hours.
And he was great. And then, you know, there were a couple other guys charging hard. Fiore, of course, but Tyler really was the battle for you, and it was nice because you guys were basically teammates the whole time.
We were. So it wasn't by design. We ran together in the Ohio Spartan Ultra, which was his first ultra event ever, and then we ended up sharing a pit here, and we just kind of linked up early in the race and found ourselves together. And I told him I had the experience. I know he had all the talent, probably more talented than I am. And I just told him to hang with me, and we'll just find a sustainable pace, and we'll make our move at the night. And that's exactly what we did.
Well, I don't know if those at home know, but Mark has had an enormous last 2 months, which included a baby, moving across the country, a new job, and now a world championship. Is this the biggest couple months of your life?
Yeah, I think you're probably spot on there. Yeah.
So, well, Mark, we're really proud of you. Congratulations. And I don't think this is the end. I think this is the beginning of something different. So
I hope so. I really hope so.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
World champion, Mark Gadet.